Hi, I'm Marc Freedman. I'm the founder and CEO of Civic Ventures, and I've just written a book, The Big Shift, Navigating the New Stage Beyond Midlife, and I'm here at Atlantic today to talk about the book and what I've been learning from the book tour. Well, personally I wrote it. I'm moving beyond the middle of life. I hit my 50th birthday and I found myself in a category in which I was increasingly becoming a neither nor, neither young nor old. Made me think of the notion of oxymorons, these contradictions in terms, and I realized that I'm not alone, that there are many others, many millions who are moving into this period where they're leaving what was traditionally midlife, but they're nowhere close to what is old age, and yet this period doesn't have a name, it doesn't have a set of public policies or social institutions, and that leads to another contradiction in terms, which is that even though we strive to help people live longer, that's been a real goal of medical science, we haven't mustered the imagination to think about what we can make of those longer lives. And so it often seems that longer lives are leaving us with a burden of all these people who are weighing down society. I don't think it has to be that way. So the book in a way is not only an attempt to solve that question of individual identity, who am I in this stage of life, but how a longer lived society, one in which at some point most young people will see their 100th birthdays, can adopt a life course that fits with these longer lifespans and makes things better for everyone. We're witnessing the emergence of a new stage of life between the middle years and old age, and also a new stage of work. And people's priorities are shifting, and more they're moving towards a new hybrid, a kind of practical idealism which has the benefit of continued income and health benefits. This involves the search for new meaning and a sense of purpose, and also a desire to use one's accumulated experience to have a social impact, to leave the world better than we found it. One of the lessons I learned is that the map of life, the life course that we designed mostly for 70 and that needs to get adapted for 50, is something that's under constant revision. We invented most of the other stages of life that now seem like the oxygen in the air. There was no adolescence before 100 years ago. And I think if we create this period and fashion it and enable it to be a time where people bring together their experience and capacity with a higher sense of purpose, that we can create something that's not just better for the boomers who are moving into this period now, but all of the younger generations who are coming quickly on their heels and will soon inhabit this period. So I think that there's a way where we can turn the longevity paradox into a longevity payoff. Well, I discovered that those of us who are arguing that we need to create this new period and do it in a way that's at the intersection of continued growth and development and contribution are not the first to come up with that idea. That actually the person who invented adolescence 100 years ago, G. Stanley Hall, 20 years later, as he moved into his 80s, said, "Oh, I made a big mistake. I should have invented a new stage of life between the middle years and old age." He called it senescence, so maybe that's why it didn't hang on. But this idea that this period when we have wisdom and capacity, which is kind of a crown of life, is something that's been rattling around for a long time, and now with nearly 10,000 people a day moving into this stage, I think we need to act on that wisdom that we've been hearing about for almost a century.